Hi, I'm Terry Ammerman with the Terry Ammerman Group, and today I'm here to talk about confidence. 2 videos ago, I said that we often teach on what we refer to as the 4 C's: control, confidence, credibility, and connection. And I plan to go through each one of those in a separate video. I did a video on control. How do you control a conversation just recently? And so today I want to talk about confidence. How do you build confidence so that you can walk into a room and feel like you belong there, so you can speak up when you have something important to say, and people will listen to you and respect what you say. One of the first things that I think is important to understand regarding confidence is that confidence requires courage firsthand. So in other words, if you're going to build confidence, you want to have courage first. So courage is deciding to do something that you haven't done before that may make you have a little bit of fear, but you're going to do it anyway. That requires courage. Confidence comes from doing something enough times that you are comfortable doing it, that you know you do it well, and therefore you show up with confidence. So there's a little bit of a caveat here, and that is that you aren't going to really build confidence enough in your communication style if you don't have confidence in who you are as a person, which, by the way, requires inner work. Now, if you've watched me at all, you know that my best friend is Mina Irfan, and Mina does a lot of videos and a lot of coaching on inner work. And as we have talked as friends and also just about what we both do for a living, we've realized more and more that inner work is required to really come across with a level of confidence when you're communicating. So let's talk about what that looks like. I worked with a client recently, and she was from a company that we do business with, and she is a coaching client. And we talked about her coming across and sharing her ideas in a way that she believed was going to be helpful. And it was interesting because we spent a lot of time talking about how she wanted to come across and how she typically communicated now. And we got into some of the inner work. And when I asked her what she expected from this training, she really expected that. She said, I figured you were going to teach me how to walk into a room with confidence the way you do. And I realized at that point, and what I told her is, we are going to teach you that, but we're going to do this first. So what do you do when you want to walk into a room with confidence? You want to set up the right attitude within your own heart, within your own mind. And so you're going to tell yourself you're going to do a good job. This is important information. I have something important to share. But the other thing that you're going to do is you're going to prepare in advance. This is what we do at the Terry Ammerman Group for a living, is we teach executives and managers how to prepare in advance so that they have the most success when they're actually communicating, whether it be a presentation, an important conversation, a crisis situation where they're actually making a press briefing, or speaking to a group of people who are angry at them. So this is what I have been doing in my business for 40 years. And it's what I'm so excited about bringing to the YouTube world today, specifically for people who are perhaps new in their roles and wanting to start their careers and create a brand of themselves that says that they are confident when they're speaking up and have important things to say. And also for influencers who are getting started on YouTube and have their own channels and want to be able to handle some of the back and forth and some of the conversations that they have with confidence. So one of the things I would recommend for you first and foremost is that you prepare in advance. You decide, let's say, for example, you're going to speak to a group of people about something that needs to change. Let's say you're an influencer and you have a group of people who work for you and they're not responding quickly enough to your clients, or they're sending out emails. Let's use this example. They're sending out emails and information on your YouTube channel that has typographical errors in it, let's say, for example. So you're going to talk to them. Now, part of being a 1% woman, which is at the high end, you are confident, you're poised, you bring value to everyone who crosses your path. So you're not going to go in, and I've said this many times before, you're not going to go in and start yelling at these people that they need to improve their typographical errors, that they need to proofread more. You're not going to blindside them. You're going to decide when it's appropriate to talk to the group or one person, and you're going to think about what matters, what's most important here. And so you're going to plan ahead that you want to tell them that it's very important that the information that they share online on Instagram is accurate and doesn't have typographical errors in it. Well, this is an easy fix, right? So you're going to go in first and foremost and say something along the lines of, one of our values is excellence in the work that we do. So it's really important to me that the words are spelled correctly, that there aren't any typographical errors, that when we put a link in our description box, that when the client clicks on it, they go exactly where they need to go. And we've been missing the mark on some of these recently. So let's talk about how we can do a better job of this. That's a good opening. And as I've said in the past, then you stop talking and listen. Listen to what your virtual assistant or whoever's doing this has to say about that. And then together you come up with a solution to the problem. So what gave you confidence in going in? And by the way, the more work I do, the more I realize that even going in and saying, I need you to do this better, takes a lot of confidence. And therefore, to do it in the early stages, it takes courage. It takes courage. So to build that courage, you plan ahead what you're going to say, tie it to a value, tie it to something the two of you have in common or the group and you have in common. Plan what you're going to say in those very first opening sentences to lay the groundwork, and then listen to what you hear back. The other thing you want to do is appreciate that what you hear back may not be what you expect, because some people are triggered with really any level of communication and any level of criticism. So if they start getting super defensive and go down a path that you didn't expect, but you know that when you showed up with integrity and kindness and a clear idea of what you want to change, then it's okay if they don't respond the way you hoped they did. If they get super defensive or they start talking about other people who don't help them with their work or whatever that is, listen. Just listen. And then go back to the point at hand. What is it that you want to see changed? You may decide that some of the things that they're telling you right now are worth discussing later, but they're not necessarily reasons that you can't get to the result you want, which is accurate, grammatically correct information on your Instagram and on your YouTube accounts. So that confidence, that if you might want to call it an ownership, we call it owning the room, owning the situation, owning the conversation. That's going to come from you preparing in advance until you get to a place that you're so confident about these skills that you don't need to do a lot of preparation. But I will tell you, I have been doing this my entire career. And if I have an important conversation to have with someone, I prepare in advance. That's where my confidence comes from, is knowing ahead of time that I know how I'm going to start the conversation, and it will be with integrity and kindness. And then depending on how it flows from there, I stay in that place of integrity and kindness. And regardless of the input I get from the other person, I feel good about the conversation when I'm done. So that's what we have today on confidence. Thank you for listening. You can look in the description box below and get information for our website. And I'm also going to be preparing a sales page for my coaching package, and that will be coming along very soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.